What is up? What is up? And today, this is our first episode of One with the Pack. We're going to go over how NC State, of all teams, barely made the tournament and has made a run to the Elite Eight. This is just one of the most insane runs we've seen in a while. And my friend Michael John is also here to talk about it with us. This is the first episode of this podcast, so I'm really excited. I hope this will just do good on the channel, and let's just get right into it.
Yep. So, first, let's start off with just
How we barely made the tournament.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start off with the ACC tournament and how we got here. So, if we look at the ACC tournament bracket, we beat Louisville, Syracuse, Duke, Virginia, and Carolina, baby. So let's.
That's right.
Yep. Let's look up Let's look up the bracket here, and we're going to go over each game that's happened so far. So, the first round, we took on Louisville. That I didn't even watch the game because I didn't even know we were playing. I had stopped keeping up with NC State because I knew we were trash. So that game we ended up beating.
We've always been underestimated, though.
Yeah, we've always been underestimated. But taking
I
a look at this game,
we
can see that we beat them 94-85. I think we knew that we were going to do that. But then,
that was a pretty good game. I watched a bit of it.
But then, Ben, I'll let you take on the next game. Talk about the next game.
Let's see who we played.
It's Syracuse.
We played Syracuse. Now, Syracuse may not look like the best team on top.
They played.
Syracuse was a very solid team this season.
And they were.
And NC State just went into Syracuse and then just absolutely murdered all their hopes and dreams.
Yeah. So now, before we move on to the quarterfinals, let's talk about just what NC State was before this tournament. Now, NC State, we ended up with a 9. We ended up our final regular season record in the
ACC.
Yeah, it was 9-11 was our overall record.
Under 500. That is horrible. We were dookie.
And that's in our conference.
Yeah, and that's just interconference.
So we basically had zero chance of making it to the NCAA tournament, and the only way we could have made it was to win the ACC tournament. And they came into the tournament saying, if we win, we win. We survive another day. If we lose, the season's over and we fire a coach.
Yeah, because our coach was on the hot seat.
Yeah, Kevin Keats was begging for his life, and he begged pretty good, or he turned up something with NC State. But okay, now back to the.
Yeah. I don't know what prep talk they had in that locker room, but
it must have been something. But now moving on to the quarterfinals where we faced up Duke. Now, I watched this game. This game was a great game. I couldn't believe we beat Duke because earlier in the season we had lost to them. But we ended up defeating them 74-69. Now, moving on to the semifinals.
I'll cover this one. But oh my goodness, that Duke game was the first big win of the season for us.
That was the first big win.
That's really what set the tone for us.
Yeah.
Then we played Virginia. Now Virginia's not known for being really, really good, but they've always been
good.
Yeah.
But let me say something. They were a very slow-paced team. They run the timeout, and you could see where they did run the timeout in this game. And this game was very similar to the North Carolina Pitt game. It was the exact same score, except for the North Carolina Pitt game was 72-65, and NC State 73-65 against Virginia.
Now,
and Virginia did play slow.
Yeah. Let me just say, Virginia is always been an always solid team. But last year, didn't they play 13 Furman and lost because that horrible turnover? Well, Virginia just always finds the worst ways to lose their season. Virginia was up by 3 with no time left. Then our savior, who we would have not been here today if what was
Michael
it?
O'Connell
Michael O'Connell did
had
not
not
make
have made that shot.
insane. He did not make that last ditch free with 1 second left. We aren't in the Elite Eight. We don't make the tournament at all. It is just
Yeah, if he had not made that shot, we would not be where we are today. We would not have won that game. We wouldn't have been in the tournament. I can tell you that.
yes, that is a guarantee.
But we'll put in a
Gets
video
it
clip
off.
of that. But, okay, now moving on to the championship. We
This
faced
was-
number 1 seed North Carolina. This was insane. We couldn't believe we made it this far.
Nobody. Okay, we were just all NC State fans were stunned because we are losers. We are chokers. We've been
Yeah.
in a deep slumber from winning since 1990 plus. But oh my goodness, NC State absolutely played an amazing game. They completed this insane ACC run to win the title of the ACC. They're ACC champions when they were under 500 in the conference. Just think about that.
It's insane. And this is the way I put it, and I put it talking to Bim earlier, is 1960 through 1980s. We were hot. We were a great team.
We
Then
won
I
the
feel like
first
after-
4 ACC championships.
Yeah, we won two natties, and we should have won 4. Because the 2 seasons after we won the 1983 national championship with Jimmy V, we were actually put on probation from the tournament. We could not play in the tournament for some reason that I do not know. I think,
Yeah, I don't
But-
know that reason either.
but we should have won more. But I feel like after the 90s, we kind of took a nap. We weren't all that great.
We had
in-
some signs of winning, but we never just genuinely.
Yeah, but I feel like we're kind of waking up from that nap.
I mean,
I
DJ
mean,
Burns
it's-
looks
it's-
amazing.
It's been less than a month, but yeah,
I think some has awoken inside this NC State team. I think they have a very good shot. at making
and
it
when
to
we're
the finals.
talking about our roster, just something clicked inside.
And can I just say how similar our run this year is to our 1983 title?
Oh my goodness, the parallels. It's identical. We were nothing. We had to win the ACC tournament to make it into the NCAA tournament.
I'm gonna
And
read an
we did it. We did it in 83, and we did it in 24. We're doing it in 24.
I'm gonna recite an article by Myron Medcalf, an ESPN writer. I want to give him credit for this because this is not my article. But let's see where he says. Let me look where the part is. But MJ, you can keep talking until I.
Yeah,
find it.
and okay, so now I'm gonna get to the NCAA tournament where we faced number 6 Texas Tech.
Wait, I
Now
found an
I
article.
we came into this game hot.
We were hot on fire.
We were hot.
We were not
I
supposed to
honestly
be
thought
good.
I didn't think we would make it this far. I thought we were gonna lose this game. I
I had a strong sense because Texas
we
Tech
pulled
is
off
a
a
good win.
13-point win. 80-67. It was a great game. I watched it. Now
And can we- All right. I found the article. Then I'll talk about another game that I want to bring up. But this is another article about NC State. Do you believe in miracles? You have to if you follow this squad, especially with eerily similar journey that the team enjoyed almost 40 years ago. As an NC State stolen to the
Yep.
finish line of the 1982-1983 season. The Wolfpack had already weathered a 2-6 stretch that threatened to derail their season. Sound familiar? That this team won the national title that year. Can the squad do the same with after its late season struggles? They have had a very similar one. Can I also just say, can we just have a moment of silence and clap, or not even a moment of silence? Can we just clap for Kentucky for losing to Oakland State? Because I don't know
Wow.
if we would be here without that.
we would be nothing. Yeah.
If
If Kentucky, if that game was different, we would be nowhere. Okay, so now getting on to the now hopping on to the Oakland game.
yes, if Kentucky did not lose to Oakland there, I don't think Oakland State. I don't know if we win the game against Kentucky.
Yeah. Actually, we might have because we beat Marquette. But we'll get to the
Yeah.
Marquette game later. But I was camping this weekend for Boy Scouts, and this was a hustle. This was a hustle to watch. Some guy brought an iPad, and it was glitching every time, but we somehow pulled it off. Just a little bit
That
about
was
me,
a
but anyway,
really good game.
we pulled off a whopping 46 rebounds that game.
I didn't even know that. That is crazy. Let me look at that. Oh my god.
We had 5 blocks, 19 assists.
Can I say
46
this game
rebounds.
was way too close?
This game was
way too close.
we had better stats than them in every single way except for fouls. They had 13.
Well, we technically had 1 points, but single player points they had a player with 30.
Yeah.
But can we just congratulate Oakland State for actually?
I can't believe they made it that far. I can't even believe they beat Kentucky. I had never heard of Oakland State.
Me, that's why I picked Kentucky. But holy moly, man!
And I mean, it's just
astonishing how Oakland State. I know I've heard of miracles, including us winning the ACC tournament miracle. But then just beating Kentucky is crazy. Just a moment of silence.
Can I just say this game was insane. I'm sorry, Ben. Can I just say, can I just say how old Jack Golke looks to be 24?
For real.
He looks like he's already been through a midlife crisis. He looks like he has 3 children. And his favorite drink is Modelo. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. He just looks like a dad. He looks like he has 3 children. They go to a private school, and he cooked a steak for dinner last night with mashed potatoes and asparagus.
Why is that?
And his children love Dino Nuggies. That's the only thing they eat.
Nuggies?
He just looks like a guy who would do that because he looks way too old to be playing college basketball, and that pulls up the point. And that pulls up the point of, and we'll talk about this sometime in another episode, but why such old people are playing college basketball. But anyway, now moving on to the Marquette game.
Oh my god, this was the greatest game I've ever watched in my life. NC State, we started out so hot. At halftime, I just looked at the score and I'm like,
yeah,
if we fall on my knees and cry.
If we didn't have such a hot start, it would have been a completely different game.
Yeah.
Ben, I'm gonna let you cover the game and I'll cover the stats. You take it off at the game.
But NC State, we just started off really hot. We did not finish amazing, but we finished pretty decent. And Marquette, we really rolled Marquette in this game.
Yeah. Now let's taking a look at the stats. We had a higher percent field goals. We were 26 for 56. They were 20 for 60. 3-pointers.
Again, Michael O'Connell made another dagger free to make sure we beat Marquette.
Yeah.
Can we just get a round of applause for Michael?
For Michael O'Connell, wow, clutch. Okay, Marquette was shot horrible today. Yeah, I mean last night. I'm sorry. At that game, they shot horrible. They were horrible shooting. Their field goals were 33.3 repeating, and their 3-pointers were 13%.
That is gone.
They were 4 for 31 on 3-pointers. They only had 4 3-pointers.
It's just crazy. That is wild. We just outplayed Marquette, man. That's all I can say. Again, Michael O'Connell, man. This guy.
For real. And we didn't shoot much better 3-pointers than them, but it was just we shot 9 for 23. They shot 4 for 31. A big difference right there.
At the beginning of the game, according to ESPN stats, Marquette had an 80% win, an 80% chance to win.
Yeah, that was but once NC State got off to a hot start, NC State had it sealed.
Marquette was favored by 7.5, and we won by 9.
it was something.
I'm not even gonna lie. I actually started crying after we won this game. That was like one of the greatest feelings in my life. We've never won besides this last month. NC State is very hot going into this game. And can we just talk about like the rest of the Sweet 16 today? Like the Sweet 16 was a really good set of games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to keep talking about how like this game was just genuinely crazy. We only shot 39% of the threes. I mean, I say only when that's actually a decent amount. We had 42 rebounds that game. That's also not horrible. I'm trying to find
Yeah,
out
it
what
was.
else is good. Marquette shot again. I don't know if you said he shot 33% field goals. Is that just not bizarre to you? Uncle John?
Hold on. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
well,
An ad was playing in the background. I am so sorry, y'all. But yeah, so I'm taking a look at the stats of this game. This game was something. It was
this just
at the
something
beginning
else.
of the game after the first 5 minutes. It was in the first 5 minutes it was pretty even. Then after that, NC State just got off to a run and it just felt. I mean, Marquette's
Can
wheels
I
just fell off.
Everybody played good minutes too. Like, there's only 2 players who did not play at all. Can we just give like Marquette a little round of applause? They really fought their way back into this game and tried to, but
They
NC
did.
State just
I think
they
if they
really
had
did.
a little bit more time, then it would have actually. I think if they actually made some of their threes, then it would be a completely different story.
It'd be like 87 to like 70.
This game should have been a lot higher scoring.
Yeah.
Because if you take a look at the free throws, we were 50%, they were 60%, but we had, oh my gosh, let's give a round of applause for Muhammad Diarra. He had 40 out of the 42 rebounds of NC State.
He played 35 minutes too, I think.
Yeah. He after practicing Ramadan, I mean, you gotta admit this guy is a machine, especially today. Something clicked in him today. I mean,
I think NC State just had that fire, man. We are on a hot streak right now.
yeah, and Marquette relies on turnovers, and we're not a high turning over team. But to this game, we turned over 14 times. They turned over 9. I mean, they just if we didn't turn over, it would have been a 30-point margin.
Yeah, definitely. And we had more turnovers by a decent bit. We had 5 more turnovers. Marquette was very efficient on turnovers.
They were. But anyway, now moving on to the
rest of the Sweet 16. This was an insane week of basketball. I am sorry, but can we give Clemson their flowers though? Wait, let's talk about Clemson.
So we'll talk about the rest of the bracket before we get to the NC State Duke game and how that's gonna go. Let's take a look at the Alabama Clemson game. Now, taking a look at this game, I want to watch this game so bad. This is just about to be. I just want to watch it. I don't know if it's gonna be a good game or something, but they have the same percentage for field goals, same percentage for 3-pointers, and by same percentage I mean within 1%.
Yeah.
So they're not exactly on the dot, but they're basically the same, and I'm not gonna be annoying like that. Same free throws. Yeah. Well, Alabama has more rebounds, averaging 39.6 per game, and Clemson 37. Assists.
Like Clemson's first Elite 8 since in like 40 some years.
I think it's their first ever Elite 8.
No, they played one before, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm wrong on that.
Arizona
has 7.3 steals. Clemson 4.5. Same blocks. Clemson 10 turnovers. Alabama with 12, and then Alabama has 20 fouls with Clemson only having 15.6.
Can we talk about their unlikely win against Arizona again? Arizona favored by 7.5.
Wow, that I don't know how how Clemson pulled that off. I
watched most of that game. That was a fire game. That was like a really good
talk
game.
About an underdog story. But
NC State, but like Clemson, I'm giving them flowers. As much as an ACC rivalry I have hatred towards them, oh my goodness, Clemson, I'm giving you flowers for Arizona because I had them win the championship in my bracket. Thank you, Arizona.
But where I think we'll talk about each team's weaknesses, and I'll cover this. Where I think Clemson has the chance to win is with Alabama's 20 fouls per game.
Yeah, if they can just capitalize on the amount of free throws they're probably going to get, I say they have a very solid chance. A very solid chance.
But Alabama is and where this is going to get good is because Alabama fouls so much, but Clemson has such a good free throw shooting percentage. That's going to hurt Alabama is their fouls.
Yeah. Clemson's going to have to play lockdown defense, so they cannot let Alabama get some of their shots out.
Because Alabama is a very high offense. I think they've had 5 games this season over 100 points.
They scored 89 in the last game against the UNC, which we'll talk about in a second.
And UNC, they're both offensive teams, but
Jeez,
where I think Clemson has where I think Alabama's Achilles heel is how many fouls they get and how good of a free throw shooting team Clemson is with 80%.
Yeah.
And Clemson doesn't foul as much, but
on like 90% of those free throws, I say that might be a game.
I think the fouls might cost Alabama this game, but you never know.
Honestly.
Let's take a look at. Let's take a look at the UConn Illinois. Pardon me, UConn Illinois game.
That'll be a far game. I do not like San Diego State. And UConn played San Diego State in the Sweet 16. That is a championship rematch of all things. Because they played together last year in the national championship.
And I can't tell if this game is going to be an absolute blowout by either team, or it's going to be a close game and some team's going to pull it off. But let me take a look at the stats real quick with y'all, and I'll let Ben cover the other games.
For Illinois. I've never really heard about Illinois in basketball.
I haven't either. Let's take a look at the stats real quick.
So good this year that it's actually great. Yeah, let's look at these stats for.
Yeah, let me take a look at these stats. So field goals, UConn 50%, Illinois 48, pretty similar. 3-pointers. What UConn shoots slightly better.
UConn's favored by 8.5. That does not make sense.
That doesn't make sense. But free throws 75%, and they're both a pretty low fouling team with only 15 per game.
They're very efficient on fouls, both of them.
Although Illinois does have the rebounds, and that's what's gonna, especially the defense. To be honest. Especially the defensive rebounds, with getting 30 defensive rebounds.
That is wild.
That's what's gonna.
Honestly, I think Illinois has not a very good chance, but a solid chance to beat UConn. UConn's the last very, very, very scary team.
And I think what Illinois. I think the key for Illinois winning is throwing the ball down the court fast and getting off quick shots.
Just run a quick pace game.
You want a very fast, high-scoring game. You don't want to run the timeout because it's going to hurt you in the second half. For Illinois, the key to winning is playing a very fast-paced, first half.
You can't keep up with me, UConn. If they can just make UConn just run in circles, kind of, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. If they can tire out UConn for the second half, then that's how they're gonna win. If Illinois plays if Illinois can get a fast-paced game going, and they can get a lot of points off before the half,
they should have
and also tiring out UConn, I think that's how they're gonna win.
Honestly, though, Illinois can beat any team if they do that.
Yeah.
I would like to say.
I think they need to play how NC State played. Turn on the boosts for the first half, then kind of lower down, but still keep the score up.
Yeah.
The key to beating UConn is a high-scoring game.
Can we talk about the battle of the eyes, Iowa State and Illinois in the Sweet 16?
I never thought
That
about
was
it that
just-
way, but yeah, Battle of the Eyes.
I've just never really I've never thought of these two schools as a basketball school.
No, and they make
They are
this fun.
top tier teams. They are 2 seeds and 3 seeds, and they are battling each other in the Sweet 16.
But Illinois did.
This was
End
a
up pulling off that win.
very good game. I will say that.
Now moving on
First-
to the Purdue-Tennessee game. Ben, I'll let you do this game.
All right, let me talk about just Tennessee and Purdue and their wins. I really wanted Creighton to make a good run this year because I'm just Creighton's only a basketball school. I've never heard of them in football.
Mm-hmm.
But Creighton, oh my goodness, what
They did.
happened?
I mean-
Tennessee just started. Creighton had to lead at halftime. It's just this was a very offensive game, I will say, because there were a lot of points in that second half.
Yeah, I don't.
know, man. Just
I really-
Tennessee really is just like that team that you don't expect to see. But,
Yeah,
like,
and same
they
with
are
Alabama
good.
and Clemson. I feel like this year, are the
Oh,
teams. I feel like for the lower half, for the Midwest and West teams, are the football teams. You
For
got
real, like,
Tennessee,
Alabama.
Texas, Alabama, and Clemson making it far. I mean, the football teams are pulling off the magic, and NC State.
NC State, they're pretty much known as a football team. A little bit of basketball. They're good. I'm trying to think. Tennessee's pretty good at football.
Yeah, they
UConn's
made it to
garbage
the
at
what's it
football.
called?
Alabama's good at football. UNC is UNC. Illinois is more of a football school, and Iowa State's more of a football school. Clemson is a football school. I'm just saying, football teams, they're looking pretty good this year.
Okay, this is I honestly think North Carolina UNC should be playing Clemson instead of Alabama, but it's whatever.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause
I do not like I have a strong hatred towards Alabama. But let's go back to the Tennessee game.
I do
Tennessee
too,
just
it's-
like I hate Alabama, man. I don't know why. I just hate them. So, and I hate UNC too because I'm a state fan. You know,
Yeah.
along with the pack. This is what this podcast is about, NC State and just basketball and stuff in general. But oh my goodness, Tennessee, they are such a hot and good team right now. They're very good.
they're on a streak, but this Purdue Tennessee game is going to be something. When do they play? They
Right,
play
let's look at Purdue and Gonzaga that game.
in
Purdue started out very slow, and I thought, oh man, this is Purdue's yearly choke, as they always do. Last year it was the 1-16 seed upset.
first
This
round.
year they have not got upset. They have not been upset. They've not choked yet. And I
Plowed
would
through.
not be surprised if they choke tomorrow. Because oh my goodness.
And the good thing about this game
Zach-
is
What is his name? Zach Edey or Eddie? I don't know how to really pronounce it. Sorry,
Edie.
man.
Edie.
He plays amazing. Let's look at Purdue stats. 50 for the Gonzaga game. 57% field goals, 45% threes, 9 turnovers, and 32 rebounds. That is crazy. And let's get Gonzaga some flowers too, because they had 6 turnovers that entire game.
And it was also Purdue was not didn't foul huge. They only had 11 fouls, and
Yeah, that is not horrible.
But
That's
but
not less
look,
than
I'm just putting this out there. They both had 0 blocks. That doesn't mean a lot, but I'm just saying. I mean,
you know, tall guy like Zachary, you might want some videos.
but what I do appreciate that Purdue and Tennessee, we'll cover the Purdue and Duke game tomorrow,
Yeah.
and as well as the Alabama
Or-
and UConn game,
That-
or Alabama Clemson, and then UConn Illinois. We'll have our reviews on that game because they play tonight.
Yeah, that is gonna be a fire. I cannot wait to watch Clemson Alabama. That is gonna probably be one of the games of the tournament. Oh,
And I'm definitely going to be watching the Purdue Tennessee game because this is who we play, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I'm glad that we play this this happens earlier than what we play, but
yeah, because
that-
oh dang, they play at 2:20 EST. If you're in a different time zone watching this. So it's
Mhm.
EST, so it's Eastern time.
Yeah, all our
Okay,
times will be on EST
Yeah, just so y'all know that ahead in advance. But dang,
in
NC
case
plays
there's
it.
any. Yeah, but
In case
let's
there's
look
any
now.
confusion at
Let's
all.
take a look about the Duke
NC
NC
State
State game. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the Houston Duke game. This
Oh
was. I'll take
my
this game, Ben.
goodness. Okay.
This was a very low scoring game. I expected this to be a higher scoring game, but no. They ended up with the exact same the exact same percent. Oh, they shot the exact same field goals. They both shot 20 for 49. That's something. So
This is just
they
crazy.
in this game they relied on Houston relied on their field goals and free throws with only making 2 3-pointers.
That's actually wild.
But they both shot or Duke
Houston
shot
is a
66%
low
of free
scoring
throws.
defensive team.
And
Because
Duke,
Houston is just defense.
yeah, they're just defense, but they pull it off. They're such a great game, but they couldn't do it this team.
They always choke.
Houston, and to prove your point of the defensive team with 4 steals and 4 blocks with only 10 turnovers
That's pretty good.
with 19 defensive rebounds. Well, actually Duke had the rebounds in this game with 34 to 30. Other than that, pretty solid game. Just I can't believe Duke pulled it off. And I'm excited they did because one, they're in the ACC, and that does good for the ACC, and that means we play Duke, and I'm not scared of Duke because we've proved that we have beat Duke.
But I feel like we could beat Houston way easier than Duke. Just saying.
Yeah,
But what?
I just don't know because we've never played Houston other than the national championship
On
in '83.
83.
And
So
that's not going to tell us anything. I mean, I know we beat them then, but that was 40 years
40
ago.
years later.
Everything
Let's
changed.
just preview this NC State Duke game. An absolute rivalry. This rivalry almost competes with UNC and NC State. Yeah.
Just the
Duke
big four.
is favored by 85%, which makes no sense.
It makes State. 0 sense.
NC State is way too hot right now, so just not wanting to win by that.
But looking at the Duke game stats, yeah, 15.4% for us. It is only this does look like it's about to be a kind of low scoring game with a over under of 143.
I am not. If we can get past this game and Illinois takes their business in UConn, there's a very solid chance we make the Final Four. If not,
I do. Yeah.
If NC State makes the championship and wins it,
I might actually. But looking at the spread is by 6.5 points, so it's gonna be an even game. But the fouls.
If you look at Duke's last 5 games, they have their win against Houston, their absolute obliteration of James Madison, and then they're like Vermont, I think they played in the first round tournament, and then they lost to us and UNC. So I'm not 100% sure if Duke can get this done, but I'm not 100% sure if NC State, sure if NC State can get this game done either. I'm expecting like a low 50s, high 40s, maybe low 60s.
I'm honestly thinking maybe not that of a low scoring. I'm thinking 60s, but I think we got this. I think we got this game. I don't know though.
I'm not 100% sure. Duke is a very scary team, and they have 2 days in the college.
Yeah, they have. Well, what's his name?
They have the 2 days in the college. Jared
McCain. They have Jared McCain, who sings the most interesting songs, and I'll let you guys go check that out instead of us playing that for you.
Yeah.
Save your ears.
Yeah.
Just. But yeah, so I think I don't know, close game. I think it's just gonna be a good game, and all the games are gonna be a good game.
I think this might be one of the best weeks. This might be better than last week. I'm not gonna lie. Cannot wait to see these games tonight and tomorrow. But
yeah, so
Okay.
we'll end it there. This
I
was
think
our
that's enough said. This is the first episode of this podcast. We're gonna put this on both our channels. We have not decided if we want to make a collab channel yet.
yeah.
But so you
Listen,
should.
if you guys really like this and eat this up, then we'll do a collab channel, One with the Pack podcast. But
Okay.
yes, this will be on both of our channels. Michael John Tillman and Bond the Keeper was taken.
Yes,
Or
Ben
Bond the
Keeper
Keeper.
was taken. Ben Keeper was taken.
Oh yeah, Ben the Keeper was taken.
You should like and subscribe. Or you don't even have
Both
to
of our
subscribe.
channels.
If you just really enjoyed us just talking about this, and you just think
If you are, and you don't even have to be an NC State fan, because we're not gonna be like, oh, I hate UNC, even though we don't like them. We'll give them some credit, but our podcast is basically just gonna be like an all sports everything podcast, just kind of based around NC State.
And we if you think we're interesting and want to check us out more, maybe hit our channel, subscribe, just do some stuff.
If you like the podcast, like and subscribe. You don't have to, just if you like it, it helps us and it lets us know. Actually, comment and tell us if you liked it, what we could fix since this is our first ever podcast, and what you'd like to hear next.
Yeah.
Give us some sports suggestions and team suggestions, and we could go on to Major League.
Maybe we could discuss the NBA playoffs once this is over. But so this podcast, you don't have to be an NC State fan, but it helps if you are. And I think that's gonna be the end of today's episode. And I just want to wish y'all all a good evening and good tournament, I guess.
Wait, and before we go, next episode it'll be a pre-game Duke game, and
yes,
it depends what time we are as of recording. If the Purdue game has already happened, but it'll be a pre-game, and then after that game on Monday, since it is our spring break, we'll be pumping out podcasts like crazy about about the NC State game. Yeah, but since this week is our spring break, we should have a bunch of podcasts out.
Yeah, we can have. Yeah, but we'll talk about this later, MJ. Let's wrap this up.
Yep, let's wrap this up.
Y'all. Thank you for
watching. See ya.
Thank you. Subscribe. Bye.